Nard out here showing how device ops CT side train, but before we start the video, I want to let you guys know about Leadify. It's an AI power analysis tool that gives analysis of your playstyle. Leadify analyzes your games in FACEIT and matchmaking and gives you actionable insights to make you improve faster. On Leadify, there are many stats that can help you improve your game, such as your crosshair placement, spray accuracy, counter strafing, and many others. They also show you ways to improve, meaning let's say you have troubles with spray accuracy. What I like about this is that the AI shows your spray versus how the gun should be sprayed, so you know what to work on. There are so many cool features on Leadify, such as a team finder and practice servers. I recommend you try it out. It is free and the link will be available in the description comment section box below. This is Device's past 23 games on Train, and as you can see, he is an amazing player, but he needs to work on his spray accuracy. Come on, Device. You see here from the map statistics that Leadify displays that on CT side pre-plant, Device has a lot of green in a lot of positions, which indicate it's an area where he's playing well. Orange is neutral and the red not so good. I'll be covering multiple positions on how Device ops on CT side, so let's get into it. First we'll take a look at Connector. When you're opting from Connector at the start, you're getting info to see if anyone comes out T-Con, because that player can go towards all for lurk sandwich. This information is so crucial because you don't want your teammates to get flanked and shot from behind by the T's. If you get blind and can't spot, then you let your teammates know that you're flashed and that they can be out, which happened to Device. He's jiggle peeking towards E-Box and top train in case Fnatic flash. He doesn't have to worry about pop because Bubsky is there, and he doesn't have to worry about anyone killing him from the side since he has the pre-watching sandwich. Fnatic will flash and Device hits the timing to avoid it, and he kills Gold in E-Box. He keeps holding T-Con until Bubsky smokes it off, and SC-Tech had rotated over from B to help. The round slows down and Astralis doesn't have anyone on B, so Device rotates to go to hold B, however Dupree dies Ivy, and Device holds back lanes in case Fnatic wrap. He sees the molly, which indicates that Fnatic will go towards site, which will allow Device to flank Ivy and kill the last two players. Device kills Stika crossing towards E-Box, and he goes for a repeat and he gets flash. He falls back to recover, and Godsend smoke front train, and Device will attempt to molly the plant position, however he misses. He uses this smoke to come out of Connector, and jumps onto the bomb drain to peek over it, however he won't spot anyone. The smoke that he uses to jump over it acts as a one-way as well. Device will re-smoke front train, and Astralis are in a 5v3. He's going to fall back to help towards B, where he watches ramp, and Godsend will go towards A this round, however his three teammates outside will shut it down. Late round, Device will spot Farlight come out of T-Con, however he makes a mistake and keeps holding, which Farlight gets on top of red and kills him. Be aware that if you spot T's crossing, they can get onto the train to kill you. Device is also the B rotator, and he can do so quickly from Connector. The general consensus is that if there isn't much going on yard, then you can rotate over to help B, because teams can pop out at any moment or execute. In this round, Device goes upper ramp and attacks Kicker. VP come out ramp and Astralis play retake. I'll go more in depth on retaking B in a bit from Device's role, but we see the importance of his early rotations holding upper, otherwise who knows what could have happened with Kicker there. Early to mid round here, and there's no presence outside. Astralis has full control and Device rotates to B in time before the execute happens from Fnatic. He's going to play upper ramp where he kills Chiquinho coming out before the smoke blooms. Then he repositions the top oil and kills Brolin. Here Device goes aggressive upper ramp and he kills Crims, then finds Golden as well, and then he gets the last onto JW upper. Device hardly ever goes this aggressive, and typically when the opponents are executing B, he plays back and waits for his teammates to retake. Nonetheless, nice ace from Device, but you see here the importance of the rotation Device had to shut down Fnatic's B exec. Device doesn't spot anyone T-Con and his team smokes it off. Dupree dies pop, and matches pushed Ivy and doesn't see anyone close. Device will rotate over towards B in anticipation for a B hit, however he goes back outside due to Dupree losing pop and his teammates are far back. Device loves to go into the bomb train to peek through pop through the windows to spot if anyone is using the ladder. He misses timing here, however, you'll see Magis fully peek towards T spawn on the radar, and he doesn't spot anyone, and outside is quiet. Device will rotate back to B, however when he does, VP already out. He misses his shot into an upper player, and now this is very important. He doesn't re-peek because James is still alive, and James is VP's opper, who most likely has his eyes on Device Connector. Device will smoke before coming out towards back red, where he gets onto the ladder to get info. Zifnix kills James the opper, and Device knowing this can take these peeks towards the VP's riflers, seeing that he has the advantage with the op. He will molly default, and when retaking, you'll always find Device in the back covering his teammates. It makes a lot of sense, right? Especially on train where there's a lot of range. One thing to note when retaking B is that T can have a lurker of flank connector, which Device is aware of. Device can watch upper and lower as his teammates push up, however lower smoked off here. He kills Sanji upper, and unfortunately Astralis run out of time. From connector, you could also spot upper, which Device does this here late round while Zifnix watches lower. Now this is an iffy spot because most likely it will get smoked off during execute. However, VP don't have a smoke in this round and Device will get 2 kills. Here's the conflict that Device gets timing for as he tries to smoke to get out connector. This isn't Device, but I wanted to point out that if ramp is smoked off, that smoke can be a one-way smoke for T's to peek over the connector, which Magis is aware of. In this round, Device spots connector at the start, and he doesn't see anyone and repositions bomb train to spot the ladder. EG could have made it down before he spotted, so he smokes it off and he holds con. He doesn't rotate over to B in this round because Zifnix is playing retake. The execute comes in from EG and Ethan walks into his crosshair. EG will molly con, and instead of Device holding and waiting, he will reposition back lanes where he can use his range on the AWP. Besides this, it is easier to retake from back lanes with an AWP compared to going out connector where you are open to multiple angles. Device will flash for Zifnix to come out, and Tarek kills him from ult bomb. Tarek swings and Device kills him. Device advances up to site with his deagle out to clear these close angles, and he doesn't spot anyone, and he will tap the bomb. Device will fake defuse in order to pull EG out of position and showing themselves. He kills Stan, then sticks the bomb. The point of this clip here is to show that if a team is executing A, and if you can't get out of connector to help your teammates, then rotate towards back lanes to retake, where it's much more suitable for you. Also, T's will always try to smoke off connector, so instead of just waiting there for the smoke to fade and wasting time, he could be more efficient by rotating back lanes to clear out these certain angles. There will be times where Device is solo towards B, and at the start of the round he has a couple of positions where he can play solo. First off, he will show a little presence towards ramp with a flash, and then he falls back by the spool and red train. From here he can get information safely and play retake. If he sees an execute, then he will hold an angle, and his job is to stay alive and not let the enemy push up and take map control. Device smokes ramp and Zifnix rotates back in. He gets on top of red to check the Hall's boost, and then he'll fall back to spools where he watches ramp without being exposed to upper. EG will throw B-split IB nades which force Device over the CT stairs to watch for the split. However, he jump spots and sees no one. He then goes back to watch ramp, and then another B-split smoke will eventually come in, and Device comes and spots it, and then he sees no one again. He will rotate back to B where he jump spots and sees players ramp, and he holds across and kills Breeze. Then he does his ladder jiggle peek to get info and sees Cirque ramp holding with an AWP, so then that gives him the option to peek to his left again without getting punished, and he kills Ethan. Afterwards he jumps onto spools and he kills Cirque. Then he holds Tarek knowing that he planned that bomb and that Tarek has to make a play in a 1v4. This position that Device is holding is a very powerful position, however most often than not during an execute, it gets smoked off. I wanted to show Cirque's POV to show how hard of a shot this ladder shoulder peek is. One thing to note when you're on the red train ladder to get info is that you want to be quick. Device attempts to get info, however he does it very slowly and gets punished by Farlick. Let's go into the topic of defending from back B site when an execute comes in. Your job here as the AWPer from back B site is to get the initial pick, then hold for the push as T's will want to get as much map control as it can on B. As long as you stay alive and you wait for your teammates, then the retake will be much easier. When his teammates come in for the rotate, since Device has the AWP, he's going to cover them from the back as they advance. You'll see from this retake how effective that this is with Device sitting in the back with an AWP while his teammates push up. Device gets a 4K this round for playing passive and waiting, and he doesn't force anything. Team Spirit are going to execute B, and Device tries to get a shot through the upper smoke but misses. Then he falls off towards back B, and he holds for the left side push as his right side is smoked off. It's going to be a 4v5 retake, and here we go again. Device is playing passive, he's waiting for any pushes, and he's waiting for his teammates to rotate in. He spots Mir's feet under the train by Summit, so that's one little tidbit you need to know playing on this map is that you could spot people's feet under certain trains. He spots a player mid-bomb as well, and then he'll flash for Dupree to peek this player's Summit as he holds for the bomb train player and kills Chopper. He'll reposition Oil and kill SDY, and then he smokes a bomb and holds upper. Dexter is forced to peek as the defuse comes in, and Device gets the last kill onto him. So what did we learn? Be patient, and let your teammates push up while you cover them with your AWP. Here are all the flashes Device throws on CT side train from the past 23 matches. I'll be covering the one from top blue train to Halls. Device gets on top blue train, and he goes halfway, left clicks the flash, and then as Zifnix is running up ramp, he gets an early pick into SCY. This is a powerful flash for any T's going aggressive or trying to molly upper. Device falls back to outside, seeing how the flash assist gives information that two players are towards inner. Device does his signature peek into the windows pop, and he doesn't see anyone, then he will self-boost himself onto boost to hold connector. He gets off of this and has a molly out for a pop in case Spirit take it. Zifnix had fallen off from an aggressive angle to a more passive one, which Device will rotate in to help. He smokes ramp and he jiggle peeks to avoid any flashes from connector. Dupree dies ladder, and Device is not going to rotate here. Device will gamble that Spirit are going towards B here, and Zifnix resmokes ramp, and Device falls back to hold the same angle and position as we've seen from the last clip versus EG. He attempts to molly after a smoke but fails. Device gets flashed off the angle and he takes a shot. Device won't re-peek ramp because Dexter might be holding him with an AWP, so he holds cross instead. Zifnix mollies across, so Device goes for the ladder shoulder peek, where he spots multiple players towards sidewalk. Then he holds cross again and kills Dexter. Zifnix will pick off 2 players going sidewalk, and Device will get the last onto chopper oil. Another solo position Device has towards B is going for an early ramp peek towards halls. He's going to kill Flusha and then fall back where he smokes ramp, and he's able to help outside from connector. This is a very common play Device does if he is holding inner by himself and that his team needs him outside, so he will smoke ramp and help them. The thought process is that the enemy team won't go or execute with a smoke up. Another example of Device going for a solo ramp peek, however this time around he waits for the opponent's flash prior to peeking, and by that time Crims had already crossed. Device is going to fall back in time before he gets double peeked from both sides. He smokes ramp and plays back B holding upper. Zifnix rotates in to help, but as he does so Fnatic will pop down ramp. Device holds sidewalk and kills Bro trying to advance. Then he spots Jacaniel pushing up as well. He mollies behind red and lets his team know that Jacaniel is probably behind this connector smoke, in which his teammates kill him through the smoke. After plant, Device will hold the lanes with his AWP as his teammates push up while he covers them. He didn't see anyone peeking towards his left side, so Device will reposition towards the right, and he uses the ladder to get info before getting on top red, where he kills Golden upper. Then he knows JW is ramped from the kill he got onto Dupree, and then he 1-deeks him. Device will proceed to throw and shoot the AWP over to Zifnix in time. More often than not, Device will usually have backup towards B when he goes for this pick because he can easily get rushed or killed from this position. After missing the first shot, Device takes heavy damage and falls back. Him and SCTag will go into an upper setup where Device watches his upper and SCTag will watch ramp. In this round, Navi are going to execute B and they will throw an upper B smoke, which Device takes a shot after the smoke gets thrown, and SCTag will push forward. Device will hold for the push. However, in this round, Astralis had a read and gamble stack, so they had another player towards B here and shut down the execute. Again, Device is going to go for the ramp peek, and Glaive rotates back to help him if need be, and luckily he did here, because after Device legs elbow, Cole commit and Device mollies ramp, which forces Cole to smoke it out, and Glaive will punish them for going through the molly first with the spray down. Device is able to fall back to behind blue, however he's going to re-aggress and miss his shot and dies. This is why you want backup at times when going for this ramp peek here in case a team either rushes or pops on you. It's not a good position to have your AWP up close like this, and Device hardly ever plays this close with an AWP on the B-bomb site. He makes a mistake and pushes up and gets wrapped up by the player sidewalk. Here's the last clip I'm going to show of Device going for the ramp peek. Device plays anti-flash and peeks and gets the kill. He will fall back to upper where he is on the left wall so he can get a better angle onto any players coming around the upper corner. Saw come down ramp, and one of the things besides holding for the push from the T's on B is using your nades onto site to deny the plant, which Device does here. The next position towards B where Device can play solo is towards upper. If he has his spawn, sometimes Device will take it and go for the initial peek. He holds his position and doesn't overextend because there might be an opposing opera holding, and that player will have the advantage. Chris J is going to jump down and Device kills him and falls back. As he falls back, he mollies ramp since his teammates are far away, and in case Mouse try to push ramp as he falls back. His teammates rotate in from connector to make sure Device is able to fall back safely, and from here on out he will play towards the back while his teammates is in sight. Again here, we see Device had an upper spawn. He goes for the upper peek. This time around he swings knowing Navi are low on money and no potential for an AWP. He kills Boomich, and as he does so, he will molly ramp and jumps down off the spools. SCTag will come in and support while Device retreats. Device smokes ramp and repositions connector. What happens if a team mollies upper? Well, one thing Device likes to do is to tank the damage, waiting for anyone to peek, thinking because they molly it is clear for them to swing. However, Device doesn't get the shot off and falls back and loses a lot of health. He doesn't molly in this round because one of his teammates are there to support early on. Another upper peek from Device while taking the molly damage. He misses a shot and falls back, and as he does so he mollies ramp since he has no teammates nearby. Just be careful when falling off the spools. You can do it without taking damage. Navi will molly upper and Device waits the molly out. He will peek after it burns and he doesn't spot anyone, which allows his teammates to have 4 players towards A. Device will overextend here and gets punished for going for an upper peek. He wide swings early on, and if the enemy team is on a gun round, they can have an AWPer posted on you. This upper peek can be a hard shot to hit. Boomich is gonna wide swing and kill Device. Some teams are starting to smoke upper instead of mauling it, and there's a couple of things you can do. You can wait it out and then peek, fall off, or if you hear the enemy team rushing, Device will camp inside the smoke and he comes out after VP passes him and kills him. After getting the kill into Flamey upper, Device is gonna fall off. He doesn't have a molly this round, and you'll see Device smoke ramp and then go help towards A, something that I mentioned earlier and showed, where he'll give up B if he's playing it solo to help his teammates A by having that ramp smoke up to delay the enemy. In this round, Navi are doing an Ivy split and Astralis reads it, so Device will stay outside, and you see here on the radar that they have 5 players towards A and they'll eventually shut it down. Device is solo B and he goes for a ramp peek early on, and he fell back to spools and back red, where he's playing retake and spawning for information. Res kills the pre-pop and Astralis in a 3v5. Device smokes ramp and gambles towards A, where it's going to pay off. Him and Aztec will pull off the 2v4. He gets onto a bomb train, peeking pop, missing a shot, and he kills Hampus top of the train. Device turns his attention to Ivy, where Matches had died earlier on, and he kills Popsky. Then he focuses back on the pop player, while Aztec covers his Ivy, killing Knock, and Device finds the last kill in the res. You see here how Device uses the ramp smoke to go over and cheat towards A, as well as Device has really good timing and awareness on all his peaks. As you saw in the previous clip, Device made work of NIP playing around the bomb train. He's going to do the same here against Fnatic. Device has really good positioning, is always giving multiple looks. This bomb train allows him to do that, so he gets the first kill into Chiquinho, and then he repositions back train. He misses a shot into Golden, and then he peeks towards his left and kills Crimson JW. Golden here will eventually go B and Zifnex will kill him, leading to a Astralis round win. The bomb train is very versatile in allowing you to change your position to get another angle to throw off your opponents. One of Device's favorite plays is smoke off sign when he feels an execute coming on, or heavy pressure and presence. This smoke gives him more room to work with. He will peek to the right of it and kill Cirque, and then he almost finds another kill into Tarek. Device will fall back to the CT side of the train. He sees that the front and back are mollied off, and he jumps up and he doesn't see anyone, and as the molly fades towards the back, he goes and peeks and kills Breeze. Then he turns his attention to the front and kills Tarek, however he gets flanked from behind. Device is going to start the round going old bomb, mauling Olaf and then peeking T-Con. He sees nades coming out of T-Con and he gets flashed. Now we are executing A and Device drops a sign smoke and he kills Boomich before it blooms. He nades front sight and repositions on top of the train and peeks around it. Device will get Molly out of position and aggresses front train, however Perfecto jumps on the train to kill him. Here's another example of Device smoking sign as face execute. He's gonna wallbang carry B before the smoke blooms and then he mollies behind the smoke. This time around Device goes old bomb and he waits to see if face push through. He doesn't spot anyone, he pulls out his deagle and aggresses around his smoke where he kills Rain, then repositions and kills Brokey. He doesn't know where Nico is and gets killed from hell. This smoke alongside the bomb train will give Device more looks, as you can see. Besides giving these multiple looks and repositions from the bomb train, it is a good position to stop the B split from happening. Matches get smoked off and he can't spot Ivy, leading to a potential player going towards back lanes. Device gets onto the bomb train and holds back lanes, killing Sanji, and he's going to retake through CT spawn, allowing Matches to go first while he covers him. He kills Buster Oil, then he gets to the bomb, and he 1D's kicker from behind and defuses. In this round, Device is holding Ivy from the side of red and EG smoke him off. They attempt a B split and they smoke off old bomb, however Device hops onto the bomb train and sees over the smoke but misses his shot. The bomb train is a good position to stop the B split, as you can see. This is one of the reasons why teams have gone away from this strat. Now I'm going to cover wallbangs that Devices like to do on pop, which he doesn't set up right away. You have to make sure you're safe to do so outside. You don't want to get caught up by the enemy because you're trying to wallbang. Device loves to come out connector and onto top red to peek T-Con, however more often than not he'll always get flashed off this angle. Astralis secures outside, then Device will go for his signature pop window peek on the bomb train and spots James going up the ladder, which he tags, then he proceeds to kill him through the wall. From James's POV, he had the best pop spawn and he goes for the quick drop peek that you've seen Cadian pull off multiple times against Gambit, however he doesn't spot anyone initially and advances to get a pick onto Glaive. He falls back and as he goes up the ladder he gets legged and then killed through the wall. Here against Fnatic, after yard control is secure, Device goes for the wall bang and he kills Crims. On the topic of AXQs, besides being around the bomb train, Device also likes to go heaven. The benefits of this position is that he can see over the smokes if there are any, and also being in heaven I would consider it as an off angle, as most players aren't focused on it. It's a position like Graveyard on Inferno. Here and there you might see someone in there, but not often. The most important thing about playing heaven is that once you get spotted, you want to get down as soon as possible. The reason being is that if you don't get down early on, you're stuck up there and you're prone to being spammed as well. Besides being at B mid-round due to being the rotator, Device also plays this off angle to watch T-Con. This spot is a powerful position for oppers alongside next to red watching Ivy. The only problem with this position is that it requires your teammates to watch Ivy. In this round, Device has a bait switch towards T-Con with Dupree, however VP will flush Dupree out with a molly, and Device falls off the sandwich, where he's going to get the kill into Buster. However, Matches dies Ivy and Device gets killed from behind. Device is going to play the same position watching T-Con, however Matches is playing passive Ivy towards back lanes, which opens up Device to getting flanked if Matches gets smoked off, which he does, and he's going to get killed from behind. Once again, Device is in the same position, has a bait and switch towards T-Con, however no one is watching his Ivy. Matches comes in late, however he gets smoked off, and Device peeks towards Pop, gets one kill, and gets traded out. You see the downside of this position is that you don't have your teammates covering certain positions that you're prone to getting shot from behind. Device also opts Ivy time to time, but mainly Matches will play this position with an op, so I'll briefly touch base on opping Ivy. First off, sometimes you'll see players molly at the start towards the dumpster to slow the Ivy push and rush, which also gives him time to watch T-Con. Then he smokes it off to give him time to watch Pop. You don't always have to smoke it off right away because you want the T's to use a flash, which can signal that they are there, which then you could proceed with a smoke. But if there's a lot of presence towards T-Con and Pop and a rush comes out at the beginning, then you could smoke Ivy off right away, which then you could deal with the yard push. Here in this round, maybe that was the case with the early smoke. Since Device smoked it off, he is aware that someone could have crossed to the right and then he's going to hold it after the smoke fades. Now when Device is peeking Ivy, he has his teammates covering Pop and T-Con, so he can't get shot from the side. He doesn't spot anyone Ivy and the execute comes in from Navi through T-Con. Device will peek right of green and kill Perfecto, then he repositions the top green and kills Electronic. Repositioning is key as possibly the opponent's opper might be holding position that you initially peeked or got the first kill. You saw here Device turn his attention to Ivy because he gave it up in case there was a lurk. Device starts around at Ivy where he quickly peeks towards T-Con and he gets info to see if anyone is crossing towards E-Box or peeking from T-Con or even coming out to Olaf. He doesn't see anyone initially and he mollies Dumpster then holds. Simple tries going through, however Device kills him. Device, feeling the initial presence, will smoke it off and reposition to cover Glaive as he takes T-Con control. Matches will rotate in to watch Ivy, however dies, and Device holds next to red watching Ivy. If you're playing in this position, you want someone in Pop and someone watching your T-Con. Now if Navi had smoked him off, then he can go bomb train and watch the wrap to back lanes. However, in this round, Flamey hits an insane shot onto Device. Here's a good clip of Device using the Ivy nades where he mollies first, then peeks to the right of green. He doesn't see anyone and then he comes back Ivy where he nades deep and flashes. The T's initially molly Ivy to prevent the push as well as flash, which means that they could have someone cross to the other side or as well as having an opper post on the Ivy. Device knows this, which prompts him to smoke off Ivy. He then crosses the back lanes. You'll see him reposition again after. The reason why you see in the pro scene oppers hardly ever hold back lanes mid-round to watch Ivy is that because most often than not they'll get smoked out, which makes them useless. You see that from these two clips I'm going to show you here before we head back to the main clip. Device is holding Ivy from back lanes and he's going to get smoked out. Now back to the main clip here, where Device is going to hold this off angle that I showed earlier. Pop is being watched as well as Ivy despite Matches going down. Glaive's going to go pick it up. Now Navi are going to try to A-split from T-Con and Ivy. Device will miss his initial shot, reposition, and look towards Pop, but his teammate is there. Then he goes to help Glaive, peeking Ivy, however dies to Simple. When it comes to peeking Ivy, you have to be careful. You're taking a huge risk in getting killed doing so, and potentially putting your team down a player. Device switches back and forth at the start here between T-Con and Ivy. Then he holds Ivy once Astralis knows that there's no presence towards yard. He sees the molly come in towards Ivy and he returns with his own. A flash outside comes in which draws his attention to T-Con and nothing happens outside. He goes back and peeks Ivy, which he meets a flash and then he falls off. At this point, I know for a fact like a player like Device knows that there can be an opera on the other side, but he's going to take a risk and peek again, which Simple shoots him first and tags him down to 1 HP somehow. Device should have been dead right. He should have smoked it off once he got flashed, then reposition. Your first priority when opping at the start at Ivy is watching T-Con, seeing if anyone crosses E-Box and come on Olaf, then you deal with Ivy. Again here, Device will get flashed off the angle, however he's gonna peek right after and he gets 2 kills. Maybe he knew here that FaZe didn't have money for an AWP, which is my take. In this round, EG is gonna pull Device's attention with a lot of nades towards outside. Device didn't have a molly this round, so he's unable to molly towards Dumpster, and EG baits Device's attention towards outside, and when he goes to peek Ivy, Cirque is there holding for him and kills him. From Cirque's POV, he rushes to Ivy right away, and he holds for either Device or Matches to peek. You can see the importance of having a molly at the start of the round to prevent Cirque from doing so. Like I said earlier, you're initially watching for the E-box and Olaf push, which Device catches JW coming towards Sandwich. Then he's gonna watch Ivy, and if you ever see this smoke thrown from the T's, then it is a one-way smoke that they use to get into Dumpster to peek over it. Astralis used to throw this smoke, so Device is aware of it. Again, Device is holding for the E-box cross, and he is unable to get the shot off. Brolin is the second player out T-Con, and he swings and kills him. If you want to learn more about this Fnatic strat, you can check it out here. Another situation you might face as an Ivy AWPer is the quick rush out T-Con with the T smoking back 6. One thing you can do is push through the smoke towards Hell. If you sit behind it, then you'll essentially be useless as your teammates are trying to defend the site without you. Device gets to Hell and holds this angle between the trains. He'll watch for top blue, then swing peeking down the lane and kills Config. Poison is live with the AWP, so Device smokes this lane off, and then he will reposition the top green and kill him. Now let's go into the mid-round execute as an Ivy AWPer. We see Navi smoke back 6, and Device pushes through it to Hell and peeks T-Con, killing Electronic, pushes up to hold his angle as we saw from the earlier clip, and he's very patient and he'll eventually catch Flamey. Then he checks top blue and then swings and trades shots into Simple and T-Con, killing him. Bomb is planted and Device will reposition towards Ivy and waits. Matches kills Perfecto and Device will get the last kill by nading Boomich. Note, whenever you're pushing up to Hell and you're giving up Ivy, you have to be aware of the possible Ivy flank, which in this round Perfecto is lurking Ivy while his teammates go out T-Con and pop. Device will 180 no-scope Perfecto. One move you could do after going through the back 6 smoke to Hell is actually going through the smoke again to peek towards Ivy, which you'll see Device do in this round, however he won't spot anyone. Note, this can be a risky move to do so. Device sometimes likes to hold this box angle, which I don't like, which you'll see why here in a bit. First off, one flash from the T's will make him unpeak, and when he goes to repeak, Simple is holding and kills him. The only escape route he has here is smoking, then falling off, however you will be susceptible to getting spammed. Here's another clip of Device holding the same angle behind this box in Ivy. He has Matches to his left, and Device gets flashed off the angle and Matches gets killed. Device will wait a while. Device is going to eventually peek and he dies a Brokey who was holding this entire time. If you recall from the beginning of the video, with the positional map of Leadify, Device had only really one bad area pre-plant CT side on train, and that's inside Ivy, mainly because of this position. So if you're watching Device, please stop playing inside Ivy near the box. The next clip deals with if you're opping Ivy and then the enemy team gets onto B. When you're retaking, you want to go through CT as it is safer that way than going through Con. Device gets mollied and he holds and he catches Config. He flashes for Dupree to entry out, all while covering his teammates from the back while they push up, which are taking advantage of the AWP with its range. He kills Poison upper. It makes sense, right? You don't want your AWPer to push up on the site and have a rifler coming from afar. To wrap up, I showed multiple positions and showed multiple scenarios in how Device ops CT side train. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like as I spent a lot of time making this video and gathering all these clips. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leave a comment and subscribe. Till next time, not out here. Peace.